The year is 1999, and M. Night Shyamalan released his third movie, The Sixth Sense. That's right, his third. It was praised by both audience and critics, becoming so popular that it even outgrossed movies such as Toy Story 2 and The Matrix that year, and landed itself numerous awards, even being nominated for multiple Oscars, including The Holy Grail, Best Picture, shooting the no-name director-writer into the limelight. Destined to be great in the industry. The world was his oyster. So, what happened?
My goal as a filmmaker is to try to make cultural phenomenons.
I liked The Sixth Sense as it was unfolding, and I liked it even more after the surprise at the end.
Yeah, so did I.
Pick is M. Night Shyamalan's The Village, and this was a real disappointment from a director who provided some of the best and most ingenious films of other recent years.
Is dog shit. I've rooted for this guy for a while. I think I gotta throw in that towel.
I struggle to comprehend how this ending was chosen amongst many others that you could have chosen.
Old is the worst movie that I have seen thus far in 2021.
The Sixth Sense received awards and nominations for things such as Best Actor, Best Screenplay, and Best Director. Those weren't the elements of the movie people were talking about, though. Instead, it was the twist ending, the big reveal. That is what they remembered, and that alone is what made the movie great, or so you'd believe with the discussion around the film at the time. And it became apparent M. Night Shyamalan thought so too, with his next 5 movies being Unbreakable, Signs, The Village, Lady in Water, and The Happening, each having a twist, and each respectively lowering the bar for what that twist was. So much so to the point that they aren't really even considered twists anymore, whether accidentally or purposefully losing sight of what made The Sixth Sense so good. It wasn't the twist ending, it was how the twist interacted with the movie. How the second time you watched it, you got a completely different film. The meaning of the dialogue shifts, the scenes feel different, and the perception of the theme changes. And to top it all off, the movie was practically begging you to figure it out the whole time. I mean, Bruce Willis literally died within the first 5 minutes, only strengthening the revelation at the end. And in a way, making you relate to Bruce Willis's character more. You follow him ignoring obvious signs, refusing to accept the reality, much like the audience did. And that's where the quality came from the writing leading up to the twist, not the twist itself. But M. Night Shyamalan can't make movies like that anymore, or people would figure it out automatically. And the audience just loves that reveal, right? So the twist has got to be hidden deeper and deeper until the only sign of it is the rug being pulled out from under your feet at the end. A double-edged sword. Make a story worse, but deliver on that twist ending that the audience craves so much. Except it's not a sword. It's a brick wall. And he's just banging his head against it over and over. There was a study put out by the University of California, San Diego's psychology department that explored the effects that spoiling an ending had on people's perception of the story. They had short stories written specifically for the study, including mystery and, you guessed it, twist ending. The spoilers were inserted either as an introductory text preceding the story, incorporated within the first paragraph of the story, or not at all. And it found that people preferred the introductory text that spoiled the story the most, followed by the spoiler being incorporated into the story. Why, you might ask? Levitt, leave it to Levitt, the co-author of the study, suggests that once you know how it turns out, it's cognitively easier. You're more comfortable processing the information and can focus on a deeper understanding of the story. There have also been studies that show the opposite too, and I won't go into those here because I feel like that's kind of the default. And yet somehow M. Night Shyamalan's films manage to be the worst of both worlds. Not only do you not know what the twist is, but you don't even have the luxury of being ignorant to whether or not there is one. And to top it off, not only are the supposed benefits of knowing the ending nullified, they might actually be reversed. The main problem is that you're in a position to very easily look past the story you're being told, to try to figure out what you think is actually happening, as you can't really take anything at face value, or appreciate what you're being shown for the fear it might be meant to deceive you. Which still can be fun, but it's more of the type of fun of watching something like Love is Blind to see if Colleen and Matt will get together. Or Amber, and it's gimmicky, all right? That's my point. My point is that it's gimmicky. And that's the challenge M. Night Shyamalan puts onto himself. Finding a way to shock the audience with a big reveal while also having an audience that knows that there will be one. A thing he's proven to be a Sisyphean task. Or that was until he revealed the biggest twist of his career. He was directing The Last Airbender, followed by the least surprising twist of his career. It was bad. And I have a crazy theory why. So everybody grab your tinfoil hats and let's get started. The Last Airbender was bad. Like, really bad. Even if you don't like The Village or The Happening, you have to admit they at least had soul to them. They felt interesting, they looked relatively good, and they had a unique premise. And sure, not all of it landed.
I hear you whispering. Planning on stealing something?
No, ma'am, we're not.
Plan on murdering me in my sleep?
What? No.
But ultimately, I have a hard time calling them downright terrible movies, especially compared to the very questionable movie that is The Last Airbender. The writing was bad.
My name is Ang. And I'm the Avatar. I ran away, but I'm back now.
The direction given was bad.
Wasn't very smart. I was just upset. Thanks for saving me.
Lucky.
And the overall movie just looked, well, bad. But what if this was a self-fulfilling prophecy? Remember those two movies M. Night Shyamalan made before The Sixth Sense? They're called Praying with Anger and Wide Awake. Neither of them had twists. What if he learned the wrong lesson from The Sixth Sense? And that's the only value he brings to the medium are his twists. And with The Last Airbender being his third movie with no twist, it almost felt like he sabotaged it knowingly or not to prove a point. Maybe to the audience, maybe to himself. That shoehorning his career into a gimmick was the right call, was what the audience wanted from him. And truth be told, no matter what he says, forcing so many elements from The Sixth Sense into all his later works, when the previous two movies he made were completely different, feels less like him finding his passion, and more like he just found his lane. A lane he's too afraid to veer from, or quite possibly, one he literally can't, as he's leaned too far into it. If you look at other directors known for twists like Alfred Hitchcock or David Fincher, not all their movies needed a big reveal, and not all of them had one, making the ones that did feel more impactful because you never knew what you would get from them. Ironically, making M. Night Shyamalan, the guy best known for twists, one of the most predictable directors. And even though his movies seem unique and risk-taking, they all share very similar elements. Look at Split and Knock at the Cabin. 3 people get kidnapped, told they need to be sacrificed. The movie plays with the, are these guys crazy or not? Nope, I guess not. Which is not to say he purposefully makes them similar. Knock at the Cabin was based off a book after all. It's more of the fact that he just doesn't leave his comfort zone. Which, funny side note, I guess the book and the movie are similar up until the end, which is completely different. And honestly, in my opinion, the movie's ending is way worse. Which makes me wonder, what is this guy thinking? What's this guy thinking? He takes perfectly fine movies and forces a big reveal at the end, ruining them over and over. And yet he gets his story already ready to go with a big reveal and all, and ruins it by taking it away, making it the second adaptation that he's made worse. And this time, instead of the story not having a twist, he actively removed it. I'm telling you, it's sabotage. And even though it's almost unanimous that the movie does not have a twist in it, people are still looking for one, going as far to even say that the twist is that there is no twist, because he's ingrained himself so much with this plot device that even his daughter is getting in the family business of mediocre movies with twists that ruin it. And I don't know how he can't see that. You shouldn't build your career on something so one-noted, because you become predictable. And it's especially bad when your one note is a twist, because in order to combat predictability, you must make your twist ending spontaneous. And there's no greater enemy to a plot twist than one that comes out of nowhere. It's a spiral that leads to bad stories, bad twists, and bad reception. the exact opposite of what made him famous in the first place, The Sixth Sense. So if his passion is to make twist endings, he's going about it the wrong way. And if his goal is to recreate the mass success of The Sixth Sense, he's going about it the wrong way. And that's apparent to anyone that isn't M. Night Shyamalan. The more he chases that mass appeal, the further away it becomes. And this isn't me trying to convince you not to like his movies, because if you do, more power to you. Or that he didn't find success, he obviously did. Instead, this should be used as a cautionary tale. Don't limit yourself. Give yourself room to grow so that you can grow and become better. You can learn and develop your craft. Don't rely on gimmicks. Rely on good storytelling. And most importantly, don't make twists your brand. Or do it and become a millionaire. What do I know?
Well, do you want to do the revelation at the end of the movie? And so, that's something I guess I'm going to be struggling with for a long time, because I may not do the next movie with that kind of ending, or I may do it the next movie after that. And it's been an interesting